Welcome back to Changing Latitudes. I'm standing in front of this beautiful lighthouse, excited to share with you how we completed the project, finished off everything, and brought it to where you see it today. So stick with us.
Butter?
Yeah, well, yeah, appears to me.
With the building ready to be finished, it started off with the siding corners. Fortunately, we had a ton of this siding left over from the build of my parents' house, so we put together these corners and the siding from that pile of leftover material. So we knew that up front before we put to work on this lighthouse. The first time I've ever done siding, so it was a little bit of a learning curve. Had to put in some starter strips and work our way up the side. It was relatively easy. We had those gecko clamps that would hold up the siding and make it sure that it was level. Of course, I didn't trust it, so I went ahead and used the level quite a bit still nonetheless. But it was really cool to have that available to us. The two clamps just really made it so much easier to do the work all the way up the sides. With 3 sides of the siding done and completed, I moved forward with putting in the front door. We had this door purchased a while back for another project. Fortunately, this opening that was built into the concrete was perfectly width out for this particular door, so I was able to kind of put it in there quite easily. With the door installed, I put in the framing around the door and moved on to the southern wall siding.
No, it's
Oh, okay. Come here. They get so close now. That's
You want to
why
get your
mom
name
and
on the
baby-
building, Sherry?
Yeah. First two.
Sherry also.
Jerry also.
Can be any size?
Yeah. Oh, John Hancock? Yeah.
This is long. There you go.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's the picture. You gotta go put mine in. Larry, put me on the other side, please.
Oh, he wants to be all by himself.
I want to sing it to Pablo Cruz.
Pablo
Pablo?
Rodriguez.
No, you're kidding, right?
No.
Is that your name in Spanish?
Yeah, Pablo Cruz.
C-R-U-Z?
No, C-R-U-I-I. Yes.
U-I-S-E, like the
Yeah.
cruise ship? How do you spell Rodriguez?
R-O-D. Really?
I know.
R-I-G-Z, right?
Well, I don't know. That's my grandma's last name, but I don't know it.
After having a little bit of fun with signing our name to the building, with the four of us, putting so much energy into this building, I thought it was a cool idea that we just go ahead and sign it and, hopefully never have to see it again, but, for future generations, if you will. So with that, I went ahead and put in the southern face of the siding and ready the structure for painting. With the building painted and ready to go, I went ahead and moved forward to the drip edge and installing our roofing. So again, another first for myself is putting together this drip edge, and roofing was just a little bit of a lesson, more or less just the tools and working with and to cut through the metal materials and also the roofing itself. You know, it's funny working with the roofing on a four-sided roof, so much waste. You always receive bids and prior roofing jobs that I've had done on my other property, and you always come back to the idea, why is this thing so expensive? Well, it's quite a bit of waste or shrink, 20% or so just goes right into the trash can. But, again, having a good time with putting this up the first time I've ever done it, and learning how to deal with. I was a little bit anxious of standing on top of the building, not because it structurally wasn't sound, just more because I don't particularly care to get into heights, but nonetheless did it and worked it all the way around.
down a little bit. Okay. A little bit down.
The cupola was an exciting idea, you know, again, going back and referencing you to why the cupola existed. Well, for a couple of reasons. One, because of the wish to have a light fixture inside of it, a particular area that it sits within. It's quite dark at night, so we thought it would be a great idea to have some light in it. But really, too, to allow for the roof of the cupola to come off if we ever had to service the well below. The well has 10-foot galvanized pipes linking all the way down to 330 feet that it goes. So when we go to pull that out someday, hopefully never, but if we do, we will have the ability to pull that up straight through the middle of the cupola. The cupola was a pretty cool project to put together in the shop. I built it out of, again, some of the wood materials that we had on hand, but also some of the siding that was available from left over from the house as well. If you recall, when building the roof, I had those extended studs go up through so that we could bolt the cupola right onto the wood structure without much of work to it. So it was a good forethought, and it worked out great. Fortunately, we had this heavy equipment on the property, you know, as we were building our reservoir, so we were able to lift the cupola into place quite easily. The last piece was to put in this weather vane from good directions I had picked up from Amazon. It was actually very well done and quite high quality, so I was really happy with it.
Yeah, jacket's holding on to it. Oh. I don't like that black showing. Yeah.
And from the weather vane, I moved on to the last pieces of putting in the glass. These panes were 2 foot by 2 foot, so I was, really delicate. It was tempered glass, but wanted to make sure I didn't break it and put it up there. So it was a little bit stressful. One of the more stressful parts of the entire project was just making sure I was able to put the glass in. Wasn't overly concerned about weatherproofing it. As it turns out, a drip here, a drip there inside of the pump house was not going to be a terrible outcome. So, with all the glass put in, I would move forward to putting in the ceiling inside of the cupola, and also the the electrical components.